Auvergne, Occitan, Auvergne is one of the 27 administrative regions of France. It comprises the 4 departments of Allier, Puy-de-Dôme, Cantal, and Haute-Loire. The current administrative region of Auvergne is larger than the historical province of Auvergne, and includes provinces and areas that historically were not part of Auvergne. The Auvergne region is composed of the following old provinces: Auvergne, departments of Puy-de-Dôme, Cantal, northwest of Haute-Loire, and extreme south of Allier. The province of Auvergne is entirely contained inside the Auvergne region. Bourbonnais, department of Allier. A small part of Bourbonnais is also contained inside the Centre region. Welay, center and southeast of department of Haute-Loire. Velay is entirely contained inside the Auvergne region. A small part of Gévaudan, extreme southwest of Haute-Loire. Gévaudan is essentially inside the Languedoc-Roussillon region. A small part of Vivarais, extreme southeast of Haute-Loire. Vivarais is essentially inside the Rhône-Alpes region. A small part of Fours, extreme northeast of Haute-Loire. Fours is essentially inside the Rhône-Alpes region. Velay, Gévaudan, and Vivarais are often considered to be sub-provinces of the old Languedoc province. Fours is also often considered to be a sub-province of Lyonnaise province. Therefore, the modern region of Auvergne is composed of the provinces of Auvergne, major part of Bourbonnais, and parts of Languedoc and Lyonnaise. The region contains many volcanoes, although the last confirmed eruption was around 6,000 years ago. They began forming some 70,000 years ago, and most have eroded away, leaving plugs of unerupted hardened magma that form rounded hilltops known as puys. Geography. Auvergne has a surface area of 26,013 square kilometers, equivalent to 4.8% of France's total surface area. Auvergne is one of the smallest regions in France. Auvergne is known for its mountain ranges and dormant volcanoes. Together, the Mont Stor and the Chaîne des Puys include 80 volcanoes. The Puy-de-Dôme is the tallest volcano in the region with an altitude of 1,465 meters. The Sancy Massif in the Mont Stor is the highest point in Auvergne. The northern region is covered in hills while the southern portion is mountainous and dotted with pastures. The domanial forest of Tronqués covers nearly 11,000 hectares and is the largest oak forest in Europe. There are 2 major rivers in Auvergne: the Loire, which runs through the southeast and borders the northeast, and the Allier, which runs from north to south down the center of Auvergne with branches going east and west. Over many years, the Allier River has created what are known as the Allier Gorges. Auvergne has about 50 freshwater ponds and lakes. Some are high in the mountains and have volcanic origins. Guéry Lake is the highest lake in Auvergne. Auvergne is bordered to the east by the Rhône-Alpes region, to the south by the Languedoc-Roussillon and Midi-Pyrénées regions, to the north by the Centre and Burgundy regions, and to the west by the Limousin region. Climate. The average annual temperature is 12 degrees Celsius, and the region receives 510 to 1,020 millimeters of rainfall annually. The region is altogether very dry, and has very long winters paired with short summers. History. The land of the Auvergne. The region of Auvergne was named after the Auvergne, one of the most powerful Gallic tribes. It was composed of the Gabali, the Velavi, and the Cadurci, whose sphere of influence included the regions of Languedoc and Aquitaine. Vercingetorix was granted the title of king in 52 BC. His father, Celtilos, had been elected as a king before him, and he had been killed by his companions because he wanted the title to be hereditary. In the winter of 53–52 BC, Vercingetorix managed to enter into an alliance with all the Celtic tribes surrounding him by holding hostages of the king's daughters or sons of each tribe, which gave him a guarantee for faithfulness and alliance. Following recent digging of archaeologists, the capital of the Auvergne would have been situated between Gergovie, Corinth, Aulnay and several other significant areas within 35 kilometers. This gives us an estimation of a population of 150,000 inhabitants living in the center and a total of more than 400,000 inhabitants living in the whole territory. The Auvergne were one of the most powerful and rich tribes in the Antique Gaul because of a mountainous area, which protected it from any kind of attack, out of reach of the different invaders, the many mines of gold, silver and precious metals, the pastures on the uplands in which lords left many herds, mastery of metalworking, construction and complex craft work. Vercingetorix is described with a big armor made of many assembled silver pieces, reflecting the sun, and in particular copperwork, the minting of their own money, and lots of exchanges with nearby tribes. Ceramic manufacturing, mastery of ceramics, their influence on nearby tribes, and the rallying of the Aedui during the revolt of Vercingetorix. One of the shrines of Auvergne is the Battle of Gergovia, which would have taken place about 12 kilometers away from Clermont-Ferrand. Following the non-proven interpretation made of the books of Caesar, Gergovia was the place where Vercingetorix beat Julius Caesar in 52 BC, before he started chasing Caesar's troops. Roman victory in Alesia and Bourgogne. Following the setting of several traps and fortifications over several hundreds of meters by the Roman legionaries, which led to the imprisonment of Vercingetorix in Rome and to the creation of the city of Augustone Metum, probably onto one of the existing Auvergne places. Recently, a foot made of stone, measuring 60 centimeters, has been found from a statue of 4–5 meters high, probably representing a god or Roman emperor. In the 5th century, Sidonius Apollinaris, an Auvergne nobleman and first bishop of Clermont-Ferrand, gave a testimony about the end of the antiquity of the Auvergne. Feudal Auvergne. In the 7th century, there was a dispute between the Franks and the Aquitani about the Auvergne. Conquered by the Carolingians, it was integrated for a certain time into the kingdom of Aquitania, except from one part called the county of Aurillac, which was given to the father of Gerard de Aurillac and which did not depend from the county of Auvergne, but directly from the king. The counts of Auvergne, the Guillemides, slowly obtained their independence. In the 10th century, Auvergne was subject to rivalry between the counts of Poitiers and Toulouse. Under the reign of the Carolingians, the Auvergne included 5 secondary earldoms with a particular administrative system. During the Middle Age, the earldom of Auvergne covered the current departments of Puy-de-Dôme, the northern half of Cantal, as well as a small third in the northwest of Haute-Loire, with the county of Brioude. The other part of Cantal constituted the direct territory of Aurillac Abbey, and a part of it was indentured to the Viscounts of Millau, to form the Carlades. The Auvergne had gone through a very strict feudal regime, synonym for a dispersion of the political power. The Bishop of Clermont removed his city from the Count's authority, who, as a result, favored the nearby city of Montferrand. Later, a usurpation of the power of Earl led to the creation, by the legitimate robbed Count, of a Dauphiné d'Auvergne, independent from the Earl. However, the royal power took action in the area rather early. Philippe Auguste linked the biggest part of the county to the royal territory. The royal territory of Auvergne took Riem as an administrative centre. Staying in the bosom of the Capetian family, the Auvergne is given as appanage to Alphonse de Poitiers, and then in 1360 as a duchy to Jean Werner de Berry, who also bought the area of Carlades. One of his daughters got married to the Duke of Bourbon, who became Duke of Auvergne. The Dukes of Bourbon acquired the Dauphiné of Auvergne through marriage, but in the end all their territories got confiscated by François I. Modern times. 1 century after the 100 Years' War, the Auvergne plunged into religion wars. Some Calvinist militia made incursions in the highland and they took by surprise castles and Catholic villages. Then they gave them back, asking a ransom in return. Captain Merle in particular, firmly established in the nearby Auvergne, took a ransom from Issoire but failed in St. Flour, and this is how the city of Aurillac had been taken over, and its abbey was completely destroyed. In his time, Philippe Auguste had not been able to fully defeat the area. The Count kept holding on in Vic-le-Comte. The Queen of France, Catherine de Medicis, inherited the last part of the earldom from her mother, which allowed the integration of the last feudal fiefdom, at the heart of Auvergne, to the royal territory. In 1665, Louis XIV temporarily set up an exceptional criminal court in Clermont-Ferrand and Le Puy-en-Velay, Les Granges d'Auvergne, in order to comply with the plaints of the people, who were victim of violence and abuse of officials and noblemen of Auvergne. During the 18th century, the economic situation of the farmers got considerably better, thanks to the wise politic of the Auvergne intendants, who took the reins after the abbeys, and who developed farming, cheese manufacturing, agriculture, glasswork, ironwork and roads. During World War II, Vichy was the headquarters of the government of the French state. Demographics. Auvergne is an underpopulated area with an aging population. Auvergne is one of the least populated regions in Europe. The main communes in Auvergne are Vichy, Clermont-Ferrand, and Montluçon. Major communities: Aurillac, Chamalières, Clermont-Ferrand, Kernon d'Auvergne, Issoire, Le Puy-en-Velay, Montluçon, Moulins, Allier, Riom, Vichy, Thiers, Puy-de-Dôme. Economy. The region is predominantly agricultural, with tourism slowly becoming more important. Cows are much in evidence and are used both for meat and for milk, which is made into a number of well-known cheeses: Bleu d'Auvergne, Cantal, Fourmi d'Ambert and Saint Nectaire. Despite its small local market, the Auvergne region has developed many national and international companies, such as Michelin, Limagrain, the Groupe Centre France La Montagne, Volvic Mineral Water and numerous dynamic SMEs around the two universities and large schools of its capital, Clermont-Ferrand. Most of these companies are exporting more than 75% of their production. While agriculture is important, Auvergne is a relatively industrial region as well, as the share of the working population in industry is 22%, versus the national average of 18%. The main industry in Auvergne is the tire industry, represented by Michelin, with headquarters and history is located in Clermont-Ferrand, and Dunlop, based in Montluçon. A diverse range of small industries also exists. Metallurgical, mechanical, pharmaceutical, food, cheese, mineral, etc. exists in the region, particularly in the Puy-de-Dôme and the Haute-Loire. These include the Thiers cutlery, metal Issoire, lace in Le Puy, and livestock as well as food in the Cantal. The Auvergne is also one of the premier research areas in France, with more than 8,000 researchers in the fields of chemistry, tire, steel, medical and pharmaceutical sciences, in agricultural research, in biotechnology, seismology, meteorology, etc. The food industry, with its branches mineral water, dairy products, meat products, forestry, honey, jams and candied fruit, employs over 12,000 people. Popular culture. The 2002 film, To Be and to Have, documents 1 year in the life of a one-teacher school in rural Saint-Étienne-sur-Usson, Puy-de-Dôme, Auvergne.